You're listening to Empire of Rust, the world's first and only Transformers RPG podcast. Join the heroes of Iacon as they defend Cybertronian civilization from the remnants of Cybertron First to Lord Starscream's egotistical leadership, and beyond to the unknown threats on the other side of distant stars.
All right, welcome to another Adventures of Empire of Rust, the most likely best Transformers RPG podcast.
I second that.
That's a good intro.
Yeah.
That's a keeper.
You know, I should just have you guys do the opener for me all the time now. It saves me so much effort.
Son of a bitch. That wasn't supposed to happen.
You have read of Pandora's Box, have you not?
Yes, everyone, welcome back to Empire of Rust, the first and still the greatest Transformers RPG podcast. And we are fresh from our episode 100 spectacular. And it was spectacular, wasn't it, guys?
Hey, anything with triple digits is pretty good.
Yeah, spectacular. I was surprised and thrilled.
I realized that very few podcasts actually make it to the triple digits.
That's what I'm saying. It's spectacular that we did.
Yeah. Yeah.
You do realize you've just signed our death warrant, haven't you?
And it's all thanks to you listeners who support us.
Oh, fine. Blame them.
Is that actually true? Like, if a single person, like, if no one listened to this, couldn't you still do this? Like, or is there a thing about like podcasts that I don't know, like some like behind the curtain shit?
Pat, I'm trying to make the listeners feel good and like us more.
Both of them.
There we go.
all 2-0 one of them. Oh, dear.
But yes, we don't thank you guys often enough. Thank you so much for listening and for being there for all of us. And your feedback and your interactions with us really do make everything feel so much better. So again, thank you so much.
It's like getting older, you know. You just gotta make it to you're 100 years old, because very few people die once they've reached 100 years after they've reached 100 years old.
Actually, all of them die after they reach 100 years old.
100% of them do.
Just the fact that there aren't that many that make it that far doesn't change the stat.
I'm curious.
I see Pat's brain just kind of...
No, I'm curious. Like, is there maybe I'm like a curmudgeon-y soul or something like that, but not once in my entire life have I ever listened to a podcast and been like, oh, hey, thank you for listening. That's going to make me do this more. I'm just like, why are we taking the time to say this? I really don't understand it because I don't know. Like, I'm just like,
no,
I mean, maybe I'm not like such a
get
super fan that I go in and like post shit and write an email and be like, fuck you, you didn't say this right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess I'm not that person in anything.
You know, I didn't think of that before, Pat, but you're right. You are a curmudgeon-y soul.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like there's like lead in there, you know? It's just like, what?
Yeah, because there's no other reason to say that you appreciate someone other than the fact that, you know, it's gonna give you some sort of benefit.
I guess it's just it's a thing that I never consider. You know, like if in real time, like I feel like I'm fairly considerate, but like as a post thing, like, you know, like this could have been written 100 years ago and I would have been like, oh, thank you, like Beethoven for saying that I like your music. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't get it.
Pushes those buttons.
I don't know.
I think it's more for us to just say that we actually really do appreciate people who listen, because that's legitimately true, at least for me, you know. So I'm not going to speak for you other fools, but
Not for Pat.
I definitely think it's a trick that Mike is playing on us to make us think that people are listening so that we'll keep doing this.
Yeah, the trouble he has to go to fake those recordings that just go to our podcast readers. All those fake Discord messages.
Empire of Rust, the only Transformers podcast with 80% player support.
80%.
That's worse. Now you're lying with quantifiable numbers.
Wow.
There's only two types of people in the world. Those that can infer things from incomplete data,
You're right. That's true.
Yeah, I think I'm the other one.
So there's a third group, people who don't know what infer means.
All right. Well, I got no segue from that, so we're just going to jump right back in to our episode number 101. So last time, you all had just gotten Lamplighter to surrender. I'm not going to tell you how you want to do this, so you're going to walk me through it. Go ahead and combat's done. Yeah, there's a couple of Sharkticons left over. We'll let the guards take care of those. It's just the Katamari ball. You know, we're good. And yeah, go for it. Walk me through it. What would you like to do?
I'm going to grapple them.
Do it.
Yep.
Give me a roll.
I happen to have this thing where once a day I can roll twice to take the higher number. And in this case, I rolled a 3 and a 19. And because I am in tank mode, I'm better at combat maneuvers, and because I took soldier. So that is a sweet 40, which, unless they're like some sort of mutant, like is straight to a pin.
I don't know. In normal Starfinder rules, that's like just a barely a success usually.
I know, right?
You walk right up to him. You grab a hold of both his arms with one hand, grab his target master waveform out of him with the other hand, just boom, pull it right out, and you are pinning them both to the ground.
Oh, double pin.
Woot.
All right.
Okay, so
well,
where should we take these fools?
Well, let's restrain them somehow, in a more permanent manner. I mean, I'm sure you can do this all day, but you probably have other things you want to do. I guess I'll.
Wait, why does Prime have handcuffs?
Fuzzy handcuffs.
One shall stand, one will be tied to the bed.
I will. Well, it's safe? Would I consider it safe outside then?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, there's a couple of Sharkticons left, but they are up on the balcony because they had chased after that fish you made.
Man, things get surreal.
And the guards are surrounding them. So
fish,
yeah,
right.
You are surrounded by a bunch of people.
I think I'll stay like this for a few more minutes to give everyone a feeling of security. But I'll Pythagoras will go inside the building and go into the closet and get a big line of the titanium steel cabling and bring it to Carapace so he can tie these jerks up, you know. And then probably what he'll do, Pythagoras, the first thing he'll do is run around to anyone who's injured and stabilize anyone who isn't dead, you know. I guess he'll check.
Gotcha.
He'll check Rawhead Rex eventually, I guess, or Leatherback. That's his name.
I know. I got Leatherback. Don't worry. I'll check to make sure he's okay.
Okay. Oh, he fell apart. Oh my god! Only took a few yanks.
Oh, he's dead, Jim. Oh, sorry.
I mean, I'll run.
There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people around you that are injured. And
oh, that's actually so. I will open the doors up for any at least bots that are injured, because he is a medical bay, so he can repair any hit point damage that anybody has. So anyone who's still alive can be brought in there, and he'll do repairs. So he can regain recure I think 1d8. I'll look it up, but it doesn't matter too much. But he can repair hit points pretty much every round, as long as someone is inside the building. So that's what he'll do for now.
All right, sounds good to me. Wild Strike, I think you're still up in the vent, and I'm pretty certain that your shrink ray, Pythagoras' shrink ray, is going to wear off like any second now.
Yeah, I just pushed him out of the vent. And so I will hop out of the vent in order to prevent myself from getting bigger inside there.
So you're exiting the vent to prevent an event of massive proportions.
Exactly.
Are you upset with that, there, Magnum? Do you need to vent?
Oh my God.
Somehow the building starts to drag itself across the room. Must.
Oh, I love it.
So he can heal, as a standard action, he can heal at this level 4d8 hit points every round of one creature. So, yeah, he's a heal monster. But it's hit points, it's not stamina. So
You know what we need to do? We need to make it so that you can become bigger and you can become like a gladiatorial arena where people can just keep fighting because you just keep them going.
All right.
In the pit.
Think of the carpets,
Sounds
man.
good.
Think of the carpets.
What else you want to do there, Wild Strike? And what does Nyko want to do?
Nico will come down with me. Yeah, he was his own little self, so I'll stay in self.
Okay. Carapace has Lamplighter and Waveform pinned to the ground there. Waveform is still in her weapon mode under Carapace's big hand. His hand is like over over the gun completely.
It'd be interesting is if your mass displacement gun, like if you made something small, like something else nearby had to get big, and vice versa, so there was a kind of a balance thing.
Get weird real fast.
Yeah.
I'll just hang out here and cover them in case they try to escape.
Okay. Sweet spot. What do you wanna do there?
Well, I believe I was somewhat injured from something hit me somewhere along the lines. I mean, it was a two episode long fight. I think I will find anyone that might need physical assistance, physical healing, and bring them to Magnum, and then go ahead on inside with them and take a little healing for myself, if you don't mind.
Give me a perception or medicine check.
Whom? Talking to me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, all right. According to roll 20, that would be an 11.
An 11. Woo. Jesus. All right.
All right. It's not like my paladin or anything like that.
You take a look around the room, and everyone who is on the ground looks 100% dead.
Well, that is unfortunate. That is unfortunate for people that are on the ground.
So you race back around, checking everyone. Don't find anyone left alive aside from the people who are standing up and are moving around. And you race yourself over to Magnum and get yourself inside his medical bay.
Mm-hmm.
And inside Magnum, there are 8 bots. Windblade, Legionnaire, and 6 of the party goers who were probably injured and have just gotten treatment from Magnum. And oh yes, humans. There are a bunch of humans kind of off in the corner, probably in one of Magnum's closets, surrounded by cigarettes.
Well, you only need one at that size. Did Pythagoras find anybody who was still injured?
Yes, the 6 people that that are in your bay right now. Yes, the 6 people who are currently in your building mode are the ones who were injured.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
And you can kind of see the uninjured partygoers are starting to make their way through all of the ruckus back towards the front doors. And it looks like they are heading out. In that big pile, Hardtop, Air Arachnid, and Sweet Spot's friend there, Dogfight, are heading out. Oh, Knockout as well.
I'm so glad that I asked Legionnaire to come and protect the actual target.
Yeah, that was a good call.
Like, that would have been such a different encounter if, like, she's just getting shot every fucking round.
Yeah, I took a couple of those shots, and that weren't nice.
You guys made a couple of really solid decisions before this fight started that helped you out dramatically. Having Legionnaire as part of it, aside from the additional damage that he'd be dealing, his protection of Windblade kept her safe throughout the entire thing. Magnum, your transformation and getting her inside also helped out quite a bit. All the DR and the shielding was spot on that one. So that was a really good choice. And I'm also going to give some props to Wildstrike, or to Mike over here, for asking Ironhide about the guards many episodes ago. Because it wasn't guaranteed that you were going to have help in here.
Oh, really?
Oh, that would have been a pretty different fight.
Yeah, definitely.
That would have been a lot harder.
Mm-hmm.
I would have had so much more blood on me. After we've tied down the baddies, I'm going to go over and talk to Rex.
Okay, not a problem.
See how he and the herd are doing. Come up and like scratch,
Sure.
Scratch one of them like under the chin and behind the ridges of Grazer.
Grazer really was a hero last session.
Yeah, he pumps out some damage, man.
Wow,
He does.
I mean, we were impressed when he was lower level.
I mean, for a class feature, you can't beat it.
You're my favorite little class feature.
Yeah, Carapace, not a problem. You got the 40 on the roll. You can get him pinned down, get him secured. Pythagoras brought over some cable for you to secure him and tie him up. So good on there. And you head on over to Rex and the herd, and just give him a couple of little nudges like under the chin there.
All right.
Do the guards happen to have any inhibitor restraints on them?
You know what? We'll say yeah, because they are guards, and it makes sense.
Okay, well, I will put one on each of them, and if they have any others, I will pocket them, because for some reason I feel that we might need those in the future.
We'll say that each of them had 2, and there are 2 downed guards, so you can grab them from the downed ones.
Okay, so 4. Nice, okay. Do you guys know what inhibitor restraints do?
I think it prevents transformation, right?
Yep, but you know what happens if they try?
Your head explodes.
Pretty much. They take 20d6 physical damage with no save.
Wow.
Nasty.
I want to warn them ahead of time.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Isn't there another one that just sort of prevents it?
I don't know.
I thought there was one that wasn't quite. I remember that one. I thought there was another one that was a little less violent.
Sonic Deathline is down. Sonic Deathline is down.
Right, so these 2 down guards are croaked then, right? No chance?
Unfortunately, yeah. They just took too much.
All right. Well, Magnum, once he needs healing has gotten healing, Magnum will sort of encourage everyone to leave the building so he can get up and be mobile again, if everything's safe. When that is done, when they've left, he'll transform back into his bot form. Actually, he'll try to transform into a cat and go around with Pythagoras. I'll go around to his bot form, but then we're going to interrogate these jackasses, so I'm sort of going to wait for everyone to get together to do that. He's going to...
Not a problem.
Look for clues. Just his main observation right now is, like, even for the people leaving, if anyone else is in on this, he's going to try to sort of gather as much information as he can, look for clues to see if there's any other participants or something that we missed. So he'll do a search of the room. I don't know if I can do a PI check or...
Yeah, absolutely. That makes perfect sense.
I know we never said it, but so I'm just going to say, like, as part of the restraining them, we search them and take their stuff and figure out what they have on them.
Okay.
Absolutely.
32.
You watch the people leaving, and I imagine you kind of like set yourself up by the doors and kind of just with the pretense of like, hey, let's just do a quick check, make certain you're okay, any injuries, and then like send them on their way. But as you're doing that, you're also trying to like investigate and see if any of them are acting suspiciously. and you don't notice or you don't see anything suspicious from them. They are very apprehensive about staying here, and they're trying to get out as quickly as possible. But nothing really seems too suspicious or anything. Let's see, for the named ones here.
That in itself is suspicious.
It's unsuspicious. Too unsuspicious.
Yeah, you're not getting any particular, like, weird or strange vibes from any of them. It does look like they're just trying to get out as quickly as possible.
No signs that anyone's been wrangling Sharkticons. Because presumably, these two jackasses aren't the only ones who are... I mean, I don't think... Maybe they snuck in 50 Sharkticons into the ventilation system all by themselves, but it seems pretty unlikely. We want to know how the hell they snuck 50 Sharkticons into the ventilation systems in the first place.
Agreed.
So actually, I might end up going up into ventilation systems in a minute to look around to see where they came in.
I was going to send Nico up to check that too.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
Do you know what's funny? Like, the thought of that didn't even cross my mind. Like, at all.
Yeah, they would have had to come.
Where the fuck did these things come from?
I mean, they're not small.
They would have had to come on a ship because, who'd really be able to have that many disguises for Sharkticons coming through the space bridge?
I can just imagine, like, about 5 minutes before the attack, you just look around and you see, like, dozens of Sharkticons all in, like, little trench coats and stuff like that. Eating canapes, trying to make small talk. Yeah, they all throw off the mask all of a sudden. Wow, we are bad at security. The fact that many of these suckers got into the building, it's not like they're small. It could be released from, like, jars and stuff. There are more of these things than there are guests. So
That's true.
Listen, Ironhide, you might want to consider retirement.
Hey, this place wasn't his job to secure.
I know.
He just sent some extra security to help out.
I know. We won't want to have speaks with those who were in charge. So anyway, I think Nico will be into that before I get to that. So,
all right, good. That is fine. And Mike, you said you're going to send Nico up into the vent.
Yeah.
Just to check out. All right, give me a perception check for him up there.
For Nico? Okay. Basically, I want him to look for if there's any entry point, like if they broke into the vents from somewhere, or if the vents all converge in the same location or something, where they would be coming from. Anything like that. Perception for Nico, 30.
Is there a portal to the elemental plane of Sharkticons somewhere?
I would love that.
Right?
That would make my job so much easier.
You wouldn't have to explain this.
It's like what the gaping maw is.
Nico listens real close and kind of walks around through the vents that are surrounding the big ballroom here. And he can hear the sounds of movements. Not just from one direction either. He can actually hear it from, like, several different directions. So kind of putting two and two together, he'll tell you. Yeah, he'll get on the comms and tell you.
Hey boss, I think there are more Sharkies up in here, but it sounds like they're spread out. We might need some more bots up here to track them down. What about all those little dinos that came in?
Good idea. Maybe we can send them up. Over the comms, I'll repeat what Nico said. There's more Sharkticons up in the vents, but they're more spread out, so we're going to need some help up here, clearing them out.
Based on what he said and kind of putting two and two together, you think that they were likely like the stragglers and just ones that did not follow the bosses and managed to get away from, like, the Sharkticon bosses and are just now roaming through the vents. Incredibly dangerous, yes, but not so much a direct threat to someone who's going to be on guard. But they certainly will need to be taken care of.
Yeah. We need to send up someone to spray for Sharkticons. It's like you get a nest up here.
Yeah, that's gonna cost you a pretty penny there. Shotguns, once they get in the air vents, man, there's not much you could do.
I was sort of hoping that Adam Norm would come out. Or Cliff, maybe.
Yeah, Cliffhanger, Cliff Jumper, one of them Cliff guys.
Well, unless you stop them, the last of the surviving party guests, the ones that were getting healed in your medical bay there, Magnum, are gonna head out. And
I'll just make sure to keep track of everyone who was here. I don't take names.
The ones that are leaving now, actually, you've never met them before. They were just party guests that were here, probably an invitee of Windblade or maybe even Prime. But you didn't interact or talk with any of them aside from just telling them to get inside the shield.
Yeah.
Dogfight is trailing up the rear on here. He's looking almost a little wistful, like this was his first combat and he survived it. It's like, I did it. I'm a warrior now.
Is he? But he doesn't turn into a biplane, does he?
Actually, he is the one that turns into a biplane.
Oh, thank goodness, because I would have no respect for him otherwise.
He's the one who was talking to Sweet Spot back in the day.
Biplane and Beagle.
Most of the arachnid guards got killed, but she survived, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Does she say or respond to anything in this?
No, and I'll roll over the sense motive from Magnum. She seemed as surprised by it as anyone else. You can see the corpses of both of her guards. She did not look too broken up about losing them, but it's also her.
We will search them. They might have... Wouldn't that be funny if she just left her secret plan on one of her guards?
Evil plan, Mark 1.
After hearing about the Sharkticon still in the vents, Prime will walk on over to Rex and the herd. You can also see Circuit and Longtooth trailing him, asking him questions, and Prime is answering them as he's walking by, trying to reassure them that yes, everything is quite all right. We will do a full investigation into this matter and figure out where they came from and how they got in. But in the meantime, I believe that there are still some Sharkticons in the vents, so I would encourage you to make your way to the space bridge and just keep yourself safe. And he'll walk on up to Rex. My dino friends, if I can prevail on your companions to help us in this matter, we need some small bots to go into the vents and try and flush out the Sharkticons who are hanging around. Can you send your herd in there, since they were so effective against the Sharkticons here in the ballroom? Oh my God, Prime! Yes, I'll do it.
I don't know. That doesn't sound so much like Rex.
Suck it, Prime!
Yeah, that's right. That's right, you need my help.
That sounds like it.
Yeah. Better kiss all of our asses when we're done with this.
And yeah, Rex will transform and help his herd into the vents and get them all in there and helping out. Laser, of course, needs no help. He's just going to fly right in.
And is the first to die.
The piano player will stop playing finally and start making her way out.
Can I give her a tip?
Sure, go for it.
Cool.
All right, so Magnum will transform into hat mode. I guess we'll start with Lamplighter. Everyone who wants to ask questions, get over here. I will put the hat on his head, as you
hat
can attempt to learn
the suit that's red.
You attempt to learn the answer to one question of your choice per round from an opponent. After each question, the target can attempt a will save to resist the effect. That way, the will save will be 19, I believe. DC 10 half character level plus key ability score modifier. So we're level 9, so that'd be 10, 4 plus 5 is 19.
Okay. That doesn't change or anything over the course of interrogation. It's a flat DC.
It says it doesn't say anything else about changing, yeah.
Okay.
Before we start this, I'm going to make sure that, was it Waveform? Changes out of her weapon form and into her robot form.
Smart move. The last thing you want to be doing is interrogating a gun.
All right. Who are you working for? Do be honest with me, because this little gizmo has a lot of electricity in it, and it might be damaging to the synapses if you decide to lie to me. I mean, assuming your head's still there when we're done. Yeah, sir.
So you posed a question to Lamplighter, but before he even has a chance to speak or anything, Waveform is going to jump in.
No. You're not going to talk to him. You talk to me. Look at me.
Oh, are you in charge?
Yes, I'm in charge. You talk to me. You're not going to bother him.
What situation do you think you're in here? What about this situation says you're in charge of things?
Look, you want information which I have. So you deal with me, leave Lamplighter out of this, and we can deal.
All right. I'm willing to play your game if you give me something good. I'm all ears.
Well, it's just going to say one thing. When her lies don't match up with your lies, well, you know.
Yeah, actually, that's a good idea. I'll take the hat off Lamplighter for now and switch back to robot form. Have them take him into another room. Separate the witnesses.
Oh. Okay.
That way, if she tells us something that's wrong, we'll know it's wrong.
Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?
No.
Where are you bringing him?
Yeah, no, he'll be safe. Don't worry. We're just keeping a controlled environment here. Oh, by the way, and he'll change into a building. He'll turn back into a device. Turn on his radio jammer. Just a little privacy.
Good idea.
Between. So, what will we talk about?
And you can see her demeanor changes a bit when they're separated. She looks a lot more concerned than she was just a minute ago.
Do we get the impression that they're like conjunct, what's the word, centaurum?
Conjunct Endura. Go ahead and make a sense motive, whomever wants to.
I have a 10, because I'm awful at that.
Are we all doing that?
They could be best friends or lovers. You don't know. Well, before everyone decides if they're going to do it or not, decide who is going to go with Waveform and who's staying with Waveform and who's going with Lamplighter. I'm assuming that Pythagoras and Carapace are probably staying with Waveform, and does Sweet Spot and Wild Strike want to go with Lamplighter?
Sure.
I think it's only fair that Lamplighter get two of us.
All right, I was thinking to send in
some
schmucks with him, but that's probably better to send. It's tougher characters.
So your original statement stands?
Talk about lousy time to roll bad. Well, I got a 20 on sense motive.
So you don't get the sense that they are conjuncts Endura. You do get the sense, though, that Waveform is looking at Lamplighter like you would at a younger sibling.
All right. Don't worry, Waveform. Lamplighter will be just fine as long as you cooperate completely.
I'll cooperate with you. I'll help you. I'll answer your questions. But if anything happens to him, you and I, you're not going to survive.
She tries to be as intimidating as possible while tied up.
Just get colder in here, guys. I'm absolutely terrified.
I do love a little bit of spirit in a person, though.
Yes.
Hey, Wild Strike, you want to play a little game of catch with this guy?
It's funny, like, actually in that room, there's just like a nice tea party Like, it's like, no, something happened to him. He had a lovely tea party,
There were scones and everything. Spill it. Who are you working for? Why are you here? Give us everything you got. And I'll turn on recording.
Starscream wants your friend there, Windblade. He wants her dead. Wants her gone because she's climbing in the poles too fast for his liking.
All right, makes sense. What's your evidence for this? How do they contact you?
Starscream contacted me. I mean, I'm a...
And you can see a little bit of swagger coming up with this one, too.
I'm a fairly well-known person in the world of assassination, you might say.
Do remind me to get your autograph. I can match her for swagger, man.
Ask him if he'll sign a bullet. Then that way you've got one with his name on it.
That's amazing. That was great.
Definitely. All right. That seems fairly obvious. But how did Starscream communicate with you? If we're actually going to pin this on Starscream, we need some evidence too, and it's going to be healthier for your friend if we get that evidence.
Starscream has my comm codes from way back in the day. I imagine he just kept them. But yeah, he contacted me several weeks ago to set this all up.
How are you paid?
Recordings? Is there any recording of it?
No, there's no recordings of it. Why would I record the details of an assassination contract?
Well,
in case they turn on you, so that you have something
you would
to use
want
against them.
What's your backup? What's the chance?
What am I going to do? Go to law enforcement?
Yeah, it might actually be useful if the head of a major world decides to turn on you. I'm sure you'd be. Oh, I'm sure you're much too honorable to try to protect yourself in any way, right? So I don't buy it.
The moment I did anything to Starscream, he would sick this entire planet on me. Your friend, the Decepticon Jet, the Seeker, he knows what I'm talking about. Starscream is snivelly, he's whiny, but he still holds a ton of power, even more so now. If he wanted me to disappear, I'd be gone. If he wanted Lamplighter to disappear, I'd be gone. If he wanted any of you to disappear, you'd be gone.
I mean, he really wanted Windblade to disappear. And, well, she's still here right now, isn't she?
She wouldn't be if it weren't for you two.
Yeah, but
meddling
it wasn't so magical, was it? Can I tell how much of this is true, basically? But, I mean, if I don't know if she's even been making saves, because she seems to be saying this willingly, but is she resisting telling us anything that I can tell so far?
Go ahead and give me a sense motive.
Okay, what about the hat power?
As of right now, it doesn't feel like she was hiding, or doesn't feel like she was being untruthful with her answers.
Were you hired to assassinate anybody else?
Oh my god, second minimal roll on the sense motive. What the hell? 22.
Yes, I was. The one of the other candidates. Which one was it? The fish.
The fish.
Depth charge.
Yes.
Okay, and we assumed that, right?
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Yeah.
But they were not responsible for Wolfang, correct? That was the spider people?
Wait, Wolfang's dead?
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll let you get out of prison for the memorial. Everyone's gonna be there, apparently.
Oh man, I was supposed to go to the shooting range with him next week.
Seems to be he was very popular, turns out.
Who is this guy, Martin Luther King in disguise?
All right, so you say you got a 22 on the sense motive. So far, it seems like everything she's saying has been truthful. You're not certain if she's leaving out details, but she's not lying about anything that she said so far. So Wild Strike and Sweet Spot, the two of you drag lamplighter. We'll say back up to the back of the room there, and up the stairs, and through those doors in the back, kind of like to the prep area for the ballroom. You get the doors open. It's pretty dark in here at the moment, but I'm sure you'll find a light switch, turn it on, get illumination going. There are a couple of chairs. Looks like just like storage and prep space for functions here in the room. What would you like to do?
I'll grab one of those chairs and I'll put that chair right down in the middle of the room, and I'll smash the other light bulbs so that there's only one light right on the chair.
All right.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this proper.
Some theatrics going on here.
That's right. And I am nothing if not theatrical. I'll just gesture to the chair.
Kind of shove him towards the chair.
Ow!
Sit.
My posterior plate.
We'll be just fine on that there butt holder.
Someone forgot what a chair is. I've been there.
I mean, it's called a chair, but we can call it butt holder if you want.
No. I call it butt holder.
Fine
You
by
call
me.
it a chair.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's more like a butt shelf, really.
Butt storage implement.
What's gonna happen to me? You know, what's gonna happen here?
You be quiet for a moment, and I'll lean in close to Oddstrike, and I whisper, "What is going to happen to you? What are we doing?"
I'll look towards him and say, "We're going to ask you questions. You're going to answer them. Otherwise, I'm going to shoot you." Is that clear?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. What can I tell you? What do you want to know? This doesn't have to go beyond this room, right? No one else has to know.
Just us.
No, it doesn't have to go beyond this room. I start recording.
I will point one of my weapons at him and look the sweet spot and say, "Go ahead."
Intimidation much?
You want me to shoot him?
I want you to ask some questions. You're the diplomat.
Oh, actually, that makes more sense because I am a terrible shot. I probably missed all the stuff I was aiming at. It would hurt a lot more.
We got Abbott Costello doing interrogation in the other room there.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'll answer the questions. You don't need to shoot it. It's all right.
Shall we shoot him first and then ask?
You guys are doing the tough interrogation with a tough nut, and we're doing the easy interrogation with the easy guy. We'll come out in 10 minutes. We're all laughing, like, slapping each other on the back. Yeah. And you guys will still be trying to get out. Is that your real name? Is that your real name?
Yeah, when you get out of the pen, come out of my place. We'll have a cookout.
All right. So you were contracted by someone to take out a member of the party tonight. Is that not correct?
Well, yes, that's right. It was actually all the contracts went through Waveform. I don't deal with the finding the jobs, finding the work. I typically try.
But he didn't keep you in the dark, though, did he?
Well, no, she didn't. I mean, I knew we were. I knew we were likely working for Starscream. Whenever it comes to political ambitions like this,
Did he mention the name?
She, by the way.
Not directly to me, no. She just said that we have a couple of politicians that need to go away.
Did she mention who those politicians were?
Yes, it was, of course, Windblade over here. Hi. The other candidates, the one on Cybertron,
You can make a sense motive on that one if you want.
11. And Nyko got a 30.
Holy hell.
Well, not to be outdone, Sweet Spot got a 30.
Pair of lie detecting bots over here, huh? The two of you, not you, Wildstrike, get the sense that he knows exactly who the targets were, but he's trying not to incriminate himself with this.
All right. What do I need to do to get him to say this? To name names and come out with it. Diplomacy is my bag, and that's the route I'm going to try.
Yeah, I mean, you can...
It doesn't...
you have a couple options. I think you can try the diplomatic route to try and, like, get him to be your friend and try to get him on your side. You can do intimidate to try and scare him into speaking. You can try lying to him and telling him that you know, like, all this information already. You just need him to confirm it if you want to do a bluff. So you have a couple of options. How do you want to play this out?
I want to try through diplomacy first.
Go for it.
Well, I do believe that you're probably a minor partner in the whole thing. And it doesn't seem like you're enlightened quite as much as your partner was in all the details. However, you were partners, so you are culpable for any crimes that were committed by the pair of you. I think I can get you off a little bit easy in terms of the sentencing, because you're definitely going to be convicted. However, if you would like to come clean with me 100%, I know for a fact, because I am experienced in such things, that we can cut you a bit of a deal. What do you say? You don't want to go down for something that is more or less your partner's fault, do you?
No, I don't. Can you do damage control for the hit my reputation is gonna take with this? Is that something you can do?
That's all part of the deal. It may even come down to something along the lines of witness protection, where you can get a new name and a new identity that will be untarnished. Give yourself a chance to start over. That's how they do it here on Earth.
Go ahead and roll up your diplomacy.
Oh, that's terrible. That's a 15.
Oh.
Still probably better than what he got.
Right up until that last point, the last part you made, it looked like he was agreeing with you. Like he was kind of like nodding along. He was like, yeah, I can help you out with that. But once you said that you can set him up with a new identity, you kind of lost him on that. And you can kind of see him like shaking his head back and forth. And I think you'd know about this as well. Since he's a reporter, his reputation is really like one of like the big things, like his public facing persona. So when you say that, hey, I'm not going to, like, let's get rid of that persona, you don't think that was the way of doing it?
Yep, that was a faux pas on my part. That much is for certain. All right, I'm gonna probably need to recover a little bit from this. I'll put my hand up to my ear like I'm getting a signal. Hold on. Wildstrike, why don't you take over for a moment? I need to take this. I just like step out of the light for a moment and just be like listening, but looking like I'm involved in some other conversation.
I will stick the barrel of the gun up to his knee and just say,
bad cop time.
I'm detecting a variety of tactics here.
What are you doing?
Just say, I wouldn't be worried about your reputation. That's the least of your worries. Answer the damn question, or I'm going to start shooting. Want me to intimidate?
You got to make intimidate, yep.
All right. 19, that's low.
Ooh, yeah, it is kind of low. I mean, I think still enough, considering that you have a gun pointed right at him, and the fact that you guys, did beat him up, and specifically you beat him up too.
Okay. It was the fish. Depth charge. Yes, that was the other one. And your friend, Sweet Spot.
Okay, that was one of my other questions. Was going to be, who else were you hired to kill? Do you still have people on your list?
Was there anybody else?
No one that waveform told me about, but I wouldn't be surprised if all the candidates weren't on the list. We had to deliver some messages to a spot on Velocitron. I think it was the residents of Fast Track, but as far as we haven't done anything to him. He's fine. There's no problem. He's alive. He's good. Don't worry.
What was the message?
It was a couple of data pads, but I didn't read them. I don't know what was on it.
I'm going to do a sense motive to see if he's lying about that. And Nyko, I got a 24. Wow. And Nyko got a 22.
That seems truthful, and it kind of tracks with the messages that Fast Track got with his conjunction to her on it and the threats against her.
Okay.
I will finish up my fake phone call and come back over, give Wildstrike a nod.
I will take a step back, but still have the gun aimed at him.
Well, looks like there's some bad news for you.
Bad news?
Oh yeah, your partner's deciding that she don't want to be partners with you no more. It looks like she's ready to spill the beans, and she's thinking of testifying that everything was your idea and your planet. And I gotta say, that would be a smart deal to take. Too bad you didn't take up that offer first, huh?
But she wouldn't do that to me.
Go ahead and this is gonna be a bluff, isn't it?
Yes, it will be.
This is gonna be a really difficult one because, I mean, that's like someone trying to convince. That's like someone trying to convince Wildstrike that Nyko is turning against him. It's a tough tactic, but it is still possible.
Well, that's the thing. Is like if you succeed, though, the reward will be that much sweeter because it'll be like, well, fuck that guy, like, you know.
Well, come on, big numbers. No whammy. Stop. Well, that's not bad. 24. You want to give me an aid there?
Am I able to aid?
Yeah, you can aid that one.
Stand there and look like you believe it.
+6.
Hey.
What's your total there?
So far, that would bring it up to a 30.
30. All right. Well, this one's definitely going to require a roll. Let me go ahead and roll up a sense motive for him.
She wouldn't. She's been very angry with me lately, hasn't she? But she wouldn't. No.
Anger can be a powerful motivator.
And you said that she's already agreed to testify? She's already agreed to do this?
She's actually making the offer. We have yet to offer her the deal. But that's what the call was about, to see what our progress is with you. Really, it's going to come down to whoever takes that deal first. And it sounds like she's egging for it.
I'll offer you more. I will offer you more.
All right. Well, better start talking fast, because she might be.
So, you already know that it was Windblade, Ends, and you and Depth Charge with a target Fast Track. We didn't have to shoot him or anything, but we had to deliver some messages. And then he dropped out of the race very quickly after that. As far as I know, we don't have any contracts out on Damascus yet, and nothing either on Lord Scourge, but they're low enough in the polls that they're unlikely to win. And Windblade is the one that's currently winning, so she was the biggest threat.
All right, and what kind of proof can you offer up? Ain't nothing gonna work unless you got some proof to back it up. Now, you're a smart bot. I know you've got some things covering your ass.
Also a reporter.
So what are they?
If they're a reporter, they record everything.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes. What I can give you is account information, where money was transferred, the date and times, along with this.
And if you're willing to let him pull a something like out of his little storage pocket there, he'll do it slowly.
Careful.
Yeah, he'll do it very slowly.
Don't worry. I'm going slow.
And you see very slow motion. He'll pull out a
grenade. Sorry, I just couldn't resist. Couldn't resist. Sorry,
Well, he has
Wildstrike.
another leg.
He drops the data pad he's holding. Oh my god.
The ground is damp.
If one of you picks up the data pad, you can thumb through it real quick, and you can see kind of like confirmation of the financial transactions. And this weird picture of him and Waveform and Starscream doing like gang signs.
Starscream even signed it, too.
That's amazing. I'll say to Wildstrike.
Worth quite a bit.
I'm going to find a local terminal that I can verify this info. Just to make sure it isn't a ruse.
This is the payment right here. This is priceless.
Yeah.
Right. And I'll say, just keep them company. And I'll leave the room. And I'll go rejoin the others in their interrogation. Because this is just beautiful.
Yeah. Gold star for Sweet Spot and Wildstrike there. Well done.
I rolled a 23 on the sense motive.
Wow.
It was good. It was solid.
That was close.
It's good.
Yep.
I guess it's good that they can't communicate, I guess.
So, Sweet Spot, you head on out into the main room, and Carapace and Magnum are still asking questions to Waveform. Carapace, Magnum, what would you like to say?
I was going to ask, do you have any other bounties right now? Are you hired to kill anybody else?
Not at the moment. And I don't think we're going to get any either. Lord Scourge and Damascus are both too low in the polls to affect Starscream's chances. If Windblade is gone, he's going to win. If Windblade stays around, she's going to win. It's just simple numbers.
That and good luck taking out Lord Scourge.
Sad thing is, I was kind of hoping I could get the chance.
You know what? I know how you feel. I had a bounty. I had a bounty on Prime once, and then it was rescinded before I found him. So, one of the one that got away.
Oh, no way! I took a shot at Prime once. Ironhide got in the way.
Yeah, Ironhide kind of does. He kind of does that. Yeah.
But Ironhide was in the CR chamber for 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Are you guys done?
And you can sense the pride.
Are you guys done, like patting each other on the back, here?
Yeah.
Can anyone partake in this assassins-only gab?
I think I'm done.
With that last question, Carapace, you can see Sweet Spot coming up from behind, approaching with kind of this little bit of a smug look on his face.
I can't tell,
Yeah.
I know, robots. I'll come up. Hey, Magnum, can I talk to you a moment? And I'll call him over to show him what I've got.
I'll send Pythagoras over. We'll go and look.
Yeah, I'll make it seem like I'm trying to hide it from view from her, but I'm definitely gonna be at just the right angle where she can see what I've got.
No.
And I'll be like, hey,
he's small, so it's not easy for him to hide things behind his back.
So I'll crouch down and I'll show him the data pad. And I'll hold it in such a way that she would be able to see the data pad I have, and I'll show him the stuff and say, hey, we just got this from him. He's pretty much given us everything, and kind of tricked him into thinking that she was about to turn on him, turn state's evidence on him, and roll over him. So he decided to take the deal first and roll over on her. And we've actually got the proof right here. And I'll show him the picture of them giving the gang signs, and I'll mimic the pose and start chuckling.
For SS for Starscream.
Yeah. All right.
Waveform looks over at the two of you, and you can see that she immediately knows that Lamplighter betrayed her, and with that one successful diplomacy check, you have destroyed these two's relationship. And we'll see you next time.
I knew that was coming. Oh, that was so...
Diplomacy
From the
at its
secret
finest.
files of Teletran 1, Empire of Rust is written and GM'd by Michael Ordway. Headmaster Magnum and his partner Pythagoras are played by Matthew G. Candidate Sweet Spot, representative of Velocitron, is played by Adam H.U. The Decepticon warrior Wild Strike and his partner Nyko are played by Mike M. And Carapace, the beast soldier of primitive Eucharis, is played by Patrick Finn. Additional characters are played by Michael and Cassandra Ordway. Empire of Rust is supported by the humans and networks of planet Earth, whose online networks provide access to libraries of sound effects and music, such as Storyblocks, Zasplat, Blue Zone, and Dark Fantasy Studios. We are distributed by the Transmissions Podcast Network. Stay up to date with all the latest news and reviews in the world of the Transformers by going to transmissionspodcast.com or searching for the Transmissions in your podcast app of choice. You can communicate with the heroes of Iacon by joining us on the Transmissions Discord channel. There you can discuss episodes, talk to the cast, and download the rule set used in the Empire of Rust. Teletran 1, signing off.